Under the vast sky, Jacob, a patriarch etched with time, keeps watch over his flock, his gaze paternal and knowing. Beside him stands Joseph, vibrant with youth and favored by his father, unaware of the shadows lurking nearby. In the distance, the other brothers seethe, their resentment a palpable force, their eyes fixed on Joseph. The idyllic scene belies a brewing storm, as envy and favoritism threaten to shatter the peace. Inside Joseph's tent, torchlight flickers, painting the scene with shadows and unspoken tension. Joseph begins to recount a dream, his voice cutting through the heavy silence. "We were binding sheaves of grain in the field when my sheaf rose and stood upright, while your sheaves gathered around mine and bowed down to it." Flickering candlelight paints the walls of Joseph's tent, casting an ethereal glow on the faces gathered within. Young Joseph, eyes still shining with the visions of his dream, speaks with innocent conviction. "The sun, moon, and 11 stars were bowing down to me." Jacob listens, his expression a complex mix of paternal pride and growing concern. Jacob responds, his tone laced with disbelief and a hint of reprimand. "What are you saying? Are your mother and I and your brothers really going to bow down to you?" Though Jacob rebukes him, his mind is far from dismissive, pondering the deeper meaning of Joseph's prophetic dreams. In the fields near Shechem, Joseph's brothers watch over their flocks. Jacob gestures, his hands sweeping towards the distant horizon. Joseph watches Jacob's gesture, understanding the task ahead. Jacob sends Joseph to check on his brothers. Joseph prepares to depart towards the grazing lands of Shechem. The flocks continue to graze, unaware of the journey about to unfold. Across the desolate landscape, Joseph's figure appears, unknowingly approaching his fate. Reuben, his face a storm of internal conflict, desperately attempts to sway his brothers from their dark intentions. He gestures wildly, a desperate plea for mercy amidst the brewing storm of betrayal. "Let's not kill him. Instead, we throw him into a pit," Reuben proposes, a flicker of hope in his voice. The brothers consider Reuben's words, the harsh sun casting long shadows over their faces as they contemplate their brother's fate. The decision hangs heavy in the air, a moment of grim reckoning under the unforgiving sky. At the desolate pit, Joseph arrives, unaware of the betrayal awaiting him. With brutal hands, his magnificent coat is stripped away, a symbol of his father's cherished love. He is thrown mercilessly into the dark void below, his fall echoing the depths of despair. Above, his brothers sit callously, their indifference a stark contrast to Joseph's plight. As the sun casts long shadows, the pit becomes a silent witness to injustice and betrayal. In the vast expanse of Dothan, a caravan of Ishmaelites slowly winds its way across the sun-scorched plains. Judah watches intently as the caravan approaches, a cunning plan taking shape in his eyes. Judah's voice cuts through the air, a chilling proposition. "Why should we stain our hands with his blood?" With calculated pragmatism, Judah suggests, "Let's sell him to these Ishmaelites. After all, he is our brother, our own flesh." In Dothan, treachery unfolds as Joseph is bartered to the Ishmaelites for a mere 20 pieces of silver. The glint of silver marks Joseph's betrayal as the Ishmaelites prepare to take him away. In a cruel act of deception, Joseph's coat becomes a canvas for his brother's lies, stained with the blood of a goat. The vibrant crimson stain on Joseph's coat sets the stage for a tale of deceit and heartbreak. As the sun beats down on Dothan, the brothers clutch the silver, their hearts heavy with guilt and their hands stained with the lie. The wind carries the scent of blood and betrayal across the plains, sealing Joseph's fate and his brother's shame. The brothers stand somberly before Jacob, their faces etched with grim news. They present the blooded coat to Jacob, a silent testament to unspeakable tragedy. Jacob stares at the garment, his breath catching in his throat as recognition dawns. A wave of unbearable grief washes over him as he recognizes Joseph's coat, now stained with blood. Overwhelmed by the crushing belief that Joseph has been slain by a wild beast, Jacob collapses to his knees. The Egyptian slave market throngs with life, a chaotic symphony of bartering and despair. Amidst the throng, Joseph stands forlorn, awaiting his fate. Potiphar surveys Joseph, his gaze assessing, cold and calculating. A deal is struck, sealing Joseph's destiny in servitude. Joseph's eyes reflect a mix of fear and resignation as he is led away. Inside Potiphar's opulent home, Joseph moves with quiet strength, his every action precise and purposeful. He attends to every detail, a silent testament to his unwavering diligence. Potiphar observes Joseph, his gaze filled with a growing respect for the young man's unwavering resolve. Joseph pauses momentarily, his thoughts a mystery as he stands in silent contemplation. Potiphar leans forward slightly, his admiration deepening with each passing moment. Sunlight floods a lavish room, where temptation takes the form of Potiphar's wife, poised to seduce. Joseph remains unyielding, a fortress of resolve against the storm of desire. The air crackles with unspoken desires and silent defiance. In the heart of temptation, Joseph stands his ground, a beacon of unyielding strength. In Potiphar's house, a false accusation ignites a storm of fury. Potiphar's face hardens, absorbing his wife's deceitful words. With a swift gesture, Potiphar seals Joseph's fate. Guards close in, their hands reaching to seize Joseph. Joseph is roughly seized, his world tilting under the weight of injustice. Sunlight pierces the high, barred windows of the Egyptian prison, casting long shadows across the stone floor. Amidst the stark confines, Joseph moves with a quiet confidence, an aura of calm surrounding him. The jailer, a stout man, etched with weariness, observes Joseph, his respect growing with each passing moment. The jailer nods slowly, impressed by Joseph's quiet strength, a silent acknowledgement passing between them. In the heart of the prison, a silent understanding blossoms, transcending the cold stone walls. In the dim confines of an Egyptian prison, a single barred window casts shadows across the cold stone walls. The royal cupbearer shifts restlessly in his cell, haunted by troubling dreams. Across the corridor, the baker mirrors his unease, the heavy silence amplifying his torment. Their faces, etched with worry, betray the weight of their shared nightmare. Silence descends once more, broken only by the faint rustling of their movements. The weight of the night presses down, each man isolated in his despair. Sunlight pierces the gloom of the Egyptian prison, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air. In the dim cell, Joseph sits calmly, his presence a beacon of hope amidst despair. Joseph speaks with unwavering conviction. Your dream means you will be restored to your position in Pharaoh's service in 3 days. The cupbearer listens intently, his eyes reflecting a flicker of renewed hope. Joseph pleads, his voice resonating with desperation. Remember me when things go well for you. Please do me the kindness of mentioning me to Pharaoh and get me out of this prison. The cupbearer nods slowly, the weight of Joseph's plea heavy on his heart. In the oppressive gloom of the Egyptian prison, dust dances in sunlit shafts, illuminating a scene of stark despair. Amidst the shadows, Joseph confronts the baker, who is kneeling in terror. Joseph's voice cuts through the silence. Within 3 days, Pharaoh will lift up your head from you. His grim prophecy continues, casting a pall over the kneeling baker. You will be hanged on a tree, and the birds will eat your flesh. The baker remains kneeling, his body racked with sobs as Joseph's words echo through the chamber. The cupbearer returns to his former glory, his steps light and confident. In stark contrast, the baker is led away, despair etched deeply into his face. Weeks turn into months, each day a monotonous echo in Joseph's lonely cell. The cupbearer walks past the prison, his memory of Joseph fading with each step. The cupbearer forgets Joseph. Time stands still in the dim prison cell as Joseph's hope dwindles into nothingness. Torches flicker, casting shadows that dance across the pharaoh's opulent palace walls. The pharaoh writhes in his massive bed, his face etched with torment as the scent of incense fills the air. He mumbles incoherently, lost in the depths of a troubled sleep. Shadows deepen around the room, taking on menacing forms that none of the pharaoh's wise men can decipher. In the grandeur of Pharaoh's palace, the cupbearer's eyes widen as a forgotten memory resurfaces. He bows deeply before Pharaoh, a wave of nervous energy palpable in his every movement as he says, "Your Majesty, I remember my faults this day." In a rush of anxious words, the cupbearer recounts his past. "When Pharaoh was wroth with his servants and put me in ward in the house of the captain of the guard, me and the chief baker." He recalls a night of shared dreams and a young Hebrew's insightful interpretations. "We dreamed a dream in one night, I and he. We dreamed each man according to the interpretation of his dream." The cupbearer's voice rises with urgency as he reveals the solution. There is a man in the prison who can interpret dreams. In the heart of the Egyptian prison, Joseph is led through dimly lit corridors, each step echoing with despair. The air hangs heavy with the stench of mildew as Joseph is escorted deeper into the prison's bowels. The guards march Joseph forward, their footsteps rhythmic against the stone floor. Emerging from the darkness, Joseph is brought to a grand chamber, a stark contrast to the prison's oppressive depths. Sunlight floods the opulent chamber, revealing the intricate hieroglyphs that adorn the walls. Pharaoh sits upon his throne, his expression troubled as he gestures emphatically, a storm brewing within him. His voice echoes through the hall. "I saw 7 healthy cows being devoured by 7 gaunt cows." The ominous vision continues as he speaks. "And 7 full ears of grain being swallowed by 7 withered ears." In the opulent Pharaoh's palace, sunlight bathes the grand hall, casting a divine glow upon the throne. Before the mighty Pharaoh stands Joseph, his gaze unwavering, his respect palpable. Joseph proclaims, "Your dreams, O Pharaoh, foretell 7 years of great abundance in all of Egypt." A moment of ominous warning pierces the gilded hall. Joseph continues, "But these will be followed by 7 years of severe famine, which will consume all the surplus." The weight of the prophecy hangs heavy in the air, a chilling premonition amidst the splendor. Sunlight floods the Pharaoh's palace, casting golden light on its grandeur. Joseph stands tall, his expression a blend of humility and resolve before Pharaoh. With respect and conviction, Joseph advises, "I advise you, Pharaoh, to appoint a wise man and set him over the land of Egypt." His voice resonates with urgency. Imploring Pharaoh to heed his warning, Joseph continues, "Let him gather all the food of these good years that are coming and store up grain under your authority." The fate of Egypt hangs in the balance, dependent on Pharaoh's decision. In the radiant Pharaoh's palace, a moment of profound recognition dawns as Pharaoh beholds Joseph's wisdom. Sunlight bathes the scene in divine approval, setting the stage for a monumental decision. With a magnanimous gesture, Pharaoh elevates Joseph, entrusting him with the governance of Egypt. Joseph stands humbly, ready to embrace his formidable new responsibilities. The palace witnesses the dawn of a new era as Joseph accepts his appointment, his gaze fixed on the future. The destiny of Egypt shifts irrevocably, sealed by Pharaoh's decree and Joseph's unwavering commitment. Inside the Egyptian granaries, Joseph stands as a figure of strength, bathed in the sun's golden light. He surveys the bustling activity, a silent guardian overseeing the vibrant dance of labor. Workers move with purpose, their diligent efforts a testament to the land's abundant gifts. Each grain stack stands as a monument to foresight, securing Egypt's future against the specter of famine. Joseph nods, a subtle acknowledgement of the prosperity he has helped to secure, his vision safeguarding the nation. Under a relentless sun, the Egyptian countryside begins to wither, the parched earth a canvas of despair. The land cracks under the sun. The 7 years of famine begins its devastating reign. Neighboring lands mirror the desolation, each field a testament to the spreading famine. Barren fields stretch into the distance, a haunting reminder of nature's abandonment. Dust fills the air, a constant reminder of the life that once thrived here. Under the relentless sun, Canaan's barren fields shimmer with heat, dust devils swirling across the desolate land. Jacob's sons, gaunt and desperate, search in vain for sustenance, their eyes reflecting only despair. Whispers of a fertile land to the east, where grain overflows, reach Jacob's ears, igniting a flicker of hope amidst the desolation. Jacob hears that there is grain in Egypt. Under the vast sky of Canaan, Jacob prepares his sons for a journey born of necessity. The sons, astride their camels, embark on a quest for sustenance, their figures silhouetted against the stark landscape. As the caravan disappears over the horizon, a sense of foreboding hangs heavy in the air. Jacob watches his sons fade into the distance, his heart burdened with worry and hope. Beside him, Benjamin remains a silent reminder of what Jacob holds most dear. In the quiet of their shared vigil, Jacob and Benjamin are bound by the unspoken weight of their hopes and fears. Sunlight slices through the gloom of the Egyptian grain warehouse, illuminating dust motes suspended in the air. Joseph watches, regal and impassive, as 10 travel-worn men enter the warehouse. The men bow low before Joseph, their faces hidden in shadow, their anxiety palpable. A flicker of recognition crosses Joseph's face, quickly masked by a stern facade. Joseph straightens his posture, his regal bearing intensified. The weight of untold history hangs heavy in the air between Joseph and the bowing men. In the heart of the Egyptian grain warehouse, dust dances in the sunlight as Joseph confronts his anxious brothers. Joseph's piercing gaze intensifies the tension. "You are spies. You have come to see the weakness of the land." The brothers huddle together, their voices rising in protest. "No, my lord, but your servants have come to buy food." They insist on their innocence, each word a plea. "We are all sons of one man. We are honest men. Your servants are not spies." Desperation colors their tone as they explain, "We are 12 brothers, sons of our father in the land of Canaan." Their voices soften with sorrow as they reveal, "The youngest is this day with our father, and one is no more." The grain warehouse is filled with light, illuminating the brothers standing before Joseph. Joseph demands, "You will bring your youngest brother, Benjamin, to me. Only then will I believe your words." Simeon steps forward, accepting his fate with quiet resignation. Guards seize Simeon, leading him away into the shadows. The brothers return to Canaan, their clothes covered with the dust of a long journey, their faces a canvas of relief and looming dread. "We have returned, father, and have much to tell," they announce, their voices heavy with the weight of their tale. Jacob's face is etched with worry. "Tell me everything. What happened in Egypt? The man, the governor, he tested us." The brothers confess, their voices dropping with each word. "He demanded we bring Benjamin to prove our honesty." The name hangs in the air, a chilling echo of past sorrows. "Benjamin? No. I will not let him go," Jacob cries, his voice cracking with grief. "I have already lost Joseph, and Simeon is held captive," he laments, his heart breaking anew. "I will not risk losing Benjamin too." Under the unforgiving sun, Canaan's land lies cracked and barren, a harsh testament to the deepening famine. Worry etches deeply into Jacob's face, a reflection of the heavy burden he bears for his family. After a moment of painful contemplation, Jacob nods, signaling a decision fraught with consequence. The weight of his decision settles heavily upon him, a silent acknowledgement of the trials ahead. The brothers, weary from their travels, step inside Joseph's opulent palace, their hearts filled with a mix of relief and trepidation. A wave of emotion washes over Joseph's face as his eyes lock onto Benjamin, his long-lost younger brother. In a moment of unspoken connection, Joseph's heart swells with an uncontainable joy. The grand halls of the palace seem to fade away as Joseph is lost in the moment, focusing only on Benjamin. The brothers watch Joseph, sensing the profound bond between the two men. The air is thick with unspoken emotions, a reunion long yearned for finally coming to fruition. Sunlight floods Joseph's grand palace hall, illuminating a table laden with food and drink, hinting at a feast. Joseph, a figure of regal composure, gestures invitingly as his brothers cautiously approach the table. The brothers, filled with trepidation, hesitantly take their seats, their unease palpable. Joseph seats his brothers in order of their birth, from the eldest to the youngest. Reuben breaks the silence, his voice laced with suspicion. Is this right?" Simeon, his eyes wide with disbelief, whispers, "How did he know?" Sunlight floods Joseph's palace, revealing a table overflowing with food. Joseph observes his brothers from the head of the table, his expression unreadable. Servants heap Benjamin's plate with an extravagant amount of food, a blatant display of favoritism. Benjamin stares at the mountain of food, unsure how to react to the excessive portion. Joseph's eyes flicker with anticipation, gauging his brother's reactions to the blatant favoritism. In the palace, Joseph gestures subtly, his expression veiled in the dim candlelight. He issues a silent command to his steward, the words unspoken but heavy with intent. The steward bows deeply, his understanding evident in his eyes. The steward's eyes gleam, acknowledging the task ahead. The steward moves with purpose, ready to carry out Joseph's clandestine plan. Across the boundless plains, the brothers journey toward Canaan, their figures mere specks against the horizon. A cloud of dust signals the steward's urgent pursuit, his mission heavy with suspicion. The accusation of theft casts a dark shadow over the otherwise bright day. The vastness of the land amplifies the weight of the steward's pursuit, each footstep echoing the gravity of the charge. The air crackles with unspoken tension, the landscape bearing witness to the unfolding drama. On the dusty road to Canaan, tension mounts as the steward begins his grim search, each brother's fate hanging in the balance. With methodical precision, the steward inspects each sack, the weight of suspicion growing heavier with every passing moment. A collective dread fills the air as the steward approaches Benjamin's sack, the climax of this tense ordeal drawing near. The shocking discovery. The steward pulls out the silver cup from Benjamin's sack. A gasp escapes Benjamin's lips as the steward holds up the cup, the weight of accusation crashing down upon him. The hall is heavy with unspoken dread as the brothers stand, heads bowed in solemn supplication before Joseph. Judah steps forward, his voice resonating with the weight of their shared history and the desperation of their plea. "Please, my lord, let me speak a word in your ear," Judah begins, his voice trembling with the urgency of his appeal. Judah's voice cracks with emotion as he recounts their father's deep love for Benjamin, the sole remaining son of his beloved wife. Judah makes his desperate offer. "Please let your servant remain instead of the boy as a slave to my lord." In the grand hall of Joseph's palace, he stands, a figure of suppressed emotion, his chest rising and falling with each breath. Years of longing and separation weigh heavily upon him, the facade of composure beginning to crumble. His voice, strained with emotion, cracks as he prepares to reveal a truth long concealed. The weight of his identity hangs in the balance as he proclaims, "I am Joseph." A desperate plea echoes in the vast chamber as he asks, "Does my father still live?" The palace holds its breath, awaiting a response that will bridge years of sorrow and silence. Sunlight bathes Joseph's palace, revealing the anxiety etched on his brothers' faces. Joseph stands tall, his presence a blend of power and gentle understanding. With a calm gesture, Joseph seeks to quell the storm of fear brewing within them. His voice resonates with reassurance as Joseph declares, "God intended your actions for good, to save many lives." In the opulent hall of Joseph's palace, authority and benevolence converge in his commanding presence. Joseph gestures, entrusting them with a mission of vital importance to their homeland. They must return to Canaan to bring Jacob and their families to the promise of Egypt. Urgency fills the air as the brothers receive their charge. Anticipation hangs heavy, each brother aware of the profound implications of Joseph's command. The grand hall, usually a place of serene governance, now vibrates with purpose. Dusty trails mark the brothers' arrival in Canaan, each step filled with anticipation. Breathless and awestruck, they approach Jacob. Their eyes reflect a mixture of awe and disbelief. The weight of their journey settles upon them as they stand before Jacob, a silent testament to the extraordinary events that have unfolded. Under the vast Canaan sky, Jacob's face radiates pure joy as he readies himself for a transformative journey to Egypt. His heart swells with anticipation as he begins assembling his family, each member a vital thread in the tapestry of their shared destiny. With careful hands, Jacob gathers their meager belongings, each item a tangible link to their past, a promise for their future. As the sun climbs higher, Jacob pauses, his eyes scanning the horizon, visualizing the untold wonders that await them in Egypt. With a final resolute glance back at Canaan, Jacob turns towards the path ahead, his heart filled with unwavering hope. In the fields of Goshen, Joseph arrives, his heart pounding with anticipation. A figure appears in the distance, and Joseph recognizes his father, Jacob. Tears well in Joseph's eyes as he rushes toward his father. Jacob, overwhelmed with emotion, opens his arms to embrace his son. Father and son meet in a tearful embrace, a reunion years in the making. Under the Egyptian sun, Pharaoh gestures benevolently towards the arriving family. The fertile land of Goshen unfolds before Jacob and his kin, promising prosperity. A wave of relief washes over the weary travelers as they behold their new home. Gratitude fills their hearts as they step onto the rich soil of Goshen. Pharaoh's welcoming gesture signals a new beginning for Jacob's descendants. The land stretches out, a golden expanse bathed in the sun's nurturing light. Years pass. In a distant land, Jacob's life ebbs away, leaving a void in the hearts of his kin. News of Jacob's passing pierces Joseph's soul, plunging him into the depths of sorrow. Joseph kneels beside Jacob, his heart heavy with unspeakable loss. In the stillness of grief, Joseph cradles Jacob's aged hand, a silent farewell to his father. The stark landscape amplifies the solemnity as Joseph leads his brothers toward the ancient tomb, grief etched deeply into his face. The brothers, burdened by their past, voice their fears. "We are your servants, Joseph. We fear your anger. Do not repay us for the evil we did." Joseph's voice cuts through the tension, offering unexpected forgiveness. "Do not be afraid. Am I in the place of God?" Joseph extends a promise of care, offering solace. "So then, do not be afraid. I will provide for you and your children."